Hey guys, it's Jude, and today I'm going to be doing a sketchbook tour since I finally finished this one. Kind of. Well, there were like a few pages left, not that many, but I just kind of felt like it was dragging on and I didn't feel motivated to work in it anymore, so I'm gonna move on to a new sketchbook. But yeah. So here is the sketchbook. It's Artist Loft sketchbook, like those black hardbound ones. And this is Nightcrawler because X-Men. This is when I watched X-Men Apocalypse and it was like really great and I loved it. So here's the inside. It's just got a lot of sticky notes and drawings and thumbnails. And I started this in August 2016 and now it's October 2017. I know, I take a really long time working in my sketchbooks, but yeah. So the first few pages are like blank. And then we have like these. Now that I look at it, I realize like my mistakes and the things I need to work on, like the facial proportions and stuff, but like that's okay. So this is when I watched The Internship, and this is supposed to be like a drawing of like Dylan O'Brien, but it doesn't really look like him, and that's okay. And this is really light, but it's a sketch of a dragon, and here is the Flash, Quicksilver, then Quicksilver again, but like, you know what I mean. I don't know how to explain it. This one is from Avengers, and this one is from X-Men, basically. And here is, I forget what these types of fish are called. Anglerfish? And here's another portrait study. I'm really happy with how I improved while doing these portraits. Like, I think my portraiture has gotten a lot better in the past year or so. And here's this is when Pokemon Go came out in the summer, I think, and I like drew some Pokemon. Everybody thinks these are Pokemon too, but they're not. They're just like little doodles of foxes. They're not Pokemon. And then this is when Voltron came out, I think, during that summer. Was it summer 2016? I think. And this is when I got like obsessed with like Lance. Sorry, warning, there's going to be stuff like figure studies and stuff, so if you're offended by that kind of stuff, like, you might not want to watch this because there's a lot of figure drawings. Here's a surfer Lance and a mermaid. And this is like Riverdale art. I don't really draw in order necessarily, so I go back and forth from page to page, so there'll be some stuff like that's not out like in order, because this is from like August to stuff. More figure drawings, more Lance, Ghostbusters, more Lance. There's a lot of Lance in the sketchbook because you all already know that he's my favorite. I love him. And this is like an OC that I drew, Slime Prince kind of character. I never used him. Do you ever just do that thing where you make a ton of characters but then you don't really have a purpose for them, so then you're stuck with like 20 characters that you don't use that much? Yeah. Some little doodles of this, I don't know, what would I call him? Oopsies. Warrior guy. And more Slime Prince. I really like Slime Prince's design. I should draw him more often, but I don't. This is a drawing of James T.W. and this is some more Voltron stuff after I watched a few more episodes of Voltron and ruined my life. Portrait. This is a drawing of Keith that I messed up on. I think I glued it down in place. Oh no, I didn't. Yeah, I messed up on his face, so I like just covered it and I didn't go back to it because I didn't like the drawing anymore. Graveyard Girl, Connor Franta. There's a lot of portraits in this. And this is Steven Universe. I draw a lot of fan art in here. Like, you can tell there's like a significant difference between my sketchbook for school and my personal sketchbook. My personal sketchbook has like a heck ton of fan art, but yeah. I'm hoping to work more on like original work, because mostly this is just all Lance so far. These are like original. This was like a little doodle I did when I was like working in a summer school. And here's some highlighter like doodle things. This is a drawing I did in class of Troye Sivan that I taped in. And here is some Steven Universe doodles of Stevani and one little doodle of Pearl in there. Some ballet Nightcrawler, because I did Nightcrawler in like every possible like fighting acrobatic pose, and I was like, what else can I do pose studies of him with? And I was like, ballet. Okay, let's try that. Shawn Mendes, and this is when I started doing more portraiture. And this was like my first like realistic portrait that turned out pretty well, and I remember being like super proud of it because I didn't think I could do it, and I was like, whoa, I drew that. Wow, I drew that. And I was like really happy that day. I think that was like when I hit like kind of like the peak of improving, like I realized how far I'd come, and that was like a good time. So yeah, some lapis lazuli, Connie. This was a drawing of Shawn Mendes that I was trying to do for my sister, and then I messed up, so I was just like, you know what, let's just, more Nightcrawler, and some OCs, some old OCs that I don't really use anymore. More OCs, except I use these ones. This is, I don't remember his name anymore. And this is Jace, and this one's Milo, and it's really hard to tell. And this little doodle of Nightcrawler. The things you'll see the most in here are probably my OCs, Nightcrawler, and Lance. Fair warning. Here's a little painting of a creature that I made up. I don't even know what it is. And a little portrait study of Alec Lightwood, because that's when I started watching Shadowhunters, because my cousin recommended it to me. And I loved it. It was pretty cool, pretty good. I love it. Here's some Malik, because that's when I watched Shadowhunters. Some more OC doodles. This is Jace again. He's like, I forget what he was for. He was like a Ruby OC, and then I scrapped that idea, and now he's just a normal OC. And I think I changed his name to Hunter or something. I can't remember anymore. Some PJO Heroes of Olympus doodles of my favorite boys, Nico and Leo. I love Leo. Here's Lilith. She's another character that I made. I think she was like part of a mutant X-Men OC type of thing. And I used her a lot. She's like, I feel like she's my only girl OC because I draw her frequently and she's great. I love her. She's a made-up character. What am I saying? Here's a Corpse Bride drawing that I should finish but never did. I might go back to it. I say that about a lot of things and then I never go back to them. Who am I kidding? Here is, I forget his name, Chris from In Stereo, when I listened to them for like 3 months and then I stopped listening to them. I had a lot of phases that I went through, and you can tell when you look through my sketchbook. Here's a drawing of Norman from Paranorman. I remember I used to watch that movie like every day in the summer because I just loved the animation and everything. It was just so good. Here's a redraw of one of my old drawings from grade 9, I think. Okay, so this is, again, Hunter and Lilith, and they're like, in my story thingy, they're like best friends and stuff, and they're like bros for life, and they like practicing battles and whatever. I suck at story writing and talking and explaining, I'm sorry. I don't really have a story for them, they're just kind of random OCs that I made. And this is when I started watching Yuri on Ice, because there was like a lot of hype around it on Tumblr, and I was like, oh, what is this? This is Milo again. More figure drawings. More figure drawings. Some more OCs. This is Zeno, and this is, I forget his name. Prompto. This is when I was like getting really hyped for like Final Fantasy, and I was so excited to play it. And then a few months later we got a PS4, but we didn't have any games, and the first game I got was Final Fantasy, and I was like so excited. So yeah. Here's a collab I did of, it's a mashup of like Amethyst and Marceline, if you couldn't tell. More figure drawings. And this painting I painted outside of Starbucks when I was with my friends. That was a good time. Some nice memories. ballet pose studies and this little space galaxy hair girl. I don't really know what to call it. Here were the rest of the designs I did for those Mutant X-Men OC things. I think I made this at Christmas time, and I just kind of bounced off ideas with my cousins, and we came up with these guys. His name is Calamari. I think my cousin made that up because, like, calamari, oh my gosh, but yeah. There he is. This one is Chaos. Yeah. And this is Lilith, the one that I draw most. I don't think I ever drew them after this, but I drew her a lot after. More figure drawing things. Lilith again. I love Lilith. She's my favorite OC. More, I like to do this thing where I watch dance videos and like try to draw from them and occasionally like pause them so I can get the pose and stuff, and it's really fun to do. So I did that a lot with like choreography videos, like Leah Kim choreography. And here is Singularity from the A-Force. And more choreography dance videos that I watched. Jughead, because this was when the Riverdale hype was starting. More Singularity. Focus camera. There. Singularity. More choreography. And some Jughead doodles. This is like comic Jughead. And more Riverdale. And this is like a sketch I did of all my OCs. This is Milo and Ezra. And his name is like Zeno, but I kind of want to change his name. So what does he look like to you guys? He doesn't really seem like a Zeno to me anymore. And I always forget his name, I'm sorry. Alright, more dance poses. This is an OC I made for this Instagram thing called Soda Pop Star, so you have to make a character based off of a soda. So I chose like a pomelo soda from the Philippines. Some doodles I did while watching Big Hero 6. I like to watch movies and like doodle occasionally sometimes. And I'm really proud of this spread. It's like, I watched a skating video and like tried to draw poses from it, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. It was from Nathan Chen, Grand Prix Final, that's what it says. More Riverdale. This is a character I made for my Ruby team, which I still haven't completed. I need to do that. Keys, I like this. It's like acrylic ink on acrylic. And here's some animal studies. And more Lilith and a little Jughead. Sorry, I'm going fast because my camera is starting to run out. Another portrait study that I never finished because those take a while. This is when the YouTube Rewind came out and I wanted to do a painting for it, so I did Dan and Phil. More figure drawings. More Nightcrawler. This is Jeremy from Be More Chill. If you can't tell, it's just like More Than Survive in there. I love that musical. And here's Agatha from Paranorman and some little thumbnails for some paintings I was going to do but never did. More thumbnails for paintings. It's kind of hard to see. Here is a speed paint drawing of Oikawa. And this is a character, Fireboy. I made him to like compliment Shadow Boy, which is another one of my characters. More figure studies. I never ended up using Fireboy. This is from season 2 or season 3. Season 2. That screen cap from season 2. That was so funny. Veronica, Jughead, an OC that I never used because I made him for Instagram, then I never entered that contest. More Voltron screen caps and more figure studies. A lot of Voltron and figure studies. And this is when I did like a drawing of comic Jughead and Riverdale Jughead just to compare the two. These are some doodles I did while watching Zootopia. I keep like dropping it. Lilith again. And this little doodle. More Lilith. And a portrait study that I did in class that I did not get to finish. More Lilith and another portrait study. Figure drawings and more Lilith. This is when I had an obsession with drawing my character Lilith. And this is like kind of an in-between of like Aladdin jumping. And here's some nervous Lance because Langst. Oh. Here are some contour lines of some food that I ate at this dessert place. There's some taiyaki and some bingsu. Mango bingsu. So good, guys. Here's a Rock Band 3 character. My Rock Band 3 character. His name is like Crow, and then his like other bandmate's name is Hunk and Hunk. I'm thinking about Voltron. Hawk. Sorry. Hawk is the other girl. And this is Crow. And their band name is called Chasing Wings. So that's their band. This is my cousin's characters, Fire Boy and Water Girl, and I liked drawing them, so I drew them. Another thumbnail for a painting that I also never did. I need to get these done. Like, I have so many thumbnails and ideas for paintings, and I don't get around to them. This is Tony, Jeff, he deserved better, and Clay from 13 Reasons Why. And here is my OC, Ezra, and I really like him. I've been drawing him a lot lately. Here's another OC that is yet to be named. There he is again. This is a character from my story. His name is Ben, and he's a model, and he's really angsty, and he's great. I should tell you guys about that story. I wrote it for English, and it was really good. It was supposed to be a short story, but it ended up being 14 pages long. Yeah, he's like, you can make it 6 pages, and I was like, well, you know, 6 pages isn't like a lot to work with, so I was like, let's write a 14-page story. Bakugo, because I really like Boku no Hero. Like, after Naruto ended, I was like, what am I going to fill the space with now? And then Boku no Hero came out, and I was like, yes, I love it. And then there's Boruto. Boruto is good, but I like Boku no Hero Academia, My Hero Academy. Like, I like it a lot more than, like, Boruto as of now, because, I don't know, I just like it a lot. The characters are great, and everything's great about it. We're getting closer to the end. This is when I watch Kingsman, more Ezra. I have, like, Spider-Man Homecoming, because this is, like, nearing the end. And this is when I kind of stopped drawing. Here's some Aerial Lance from Voltron. And that's it, because that's when I stopped, because I stopped feeling motivated to draw in this book. But thank you for watching, and I'm excited to share my next sketchbook with you guys. And I'll see you in the next video, and I hope you like it. And that's all. Peace!